Welcome back to This is Van Color. I don't know about you, but sometimes I come across trends from the youth that just make me feel old and make me yearn for a simpler time. And then I come across trends that make me wish I'd never learned about them at all, like Looksmaxxing, an online subculture obsessed with maximizing physical attractiveness. It isn't just about working out or upgrading your skin routine, though. It's a lot darker than that. And while Looksmaxxing gained popularity on social media as early as 2022, don't worry if you've never heard of it, because to make it make sense, we're bringing in the editor of This is Van Color and BC Bob's roving reporter on Now You Know BC, Nina Savage, is here to spill the Z. Nina, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. I haven't seen you in forever.
It's been forever, I know. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of things on my social media feeds about Looksmaxxing. What is that?
So Looksmaxxing, okay, to put it in more like millennial terms, do you remember
You're dumbing it down for me?
American Psycho, Patrick Bateman?
Oh, yeah.
He is like the original Looksmaxer, which is obviously a satirical movie, but now has been taken earnestly by young Gen Z men. And so it's this idea of, at all costs, putting everything into maximizing your appearance.
Right. And it's not just about skincare or working out. There's like some extreme Looksmaxxing interventions, right?
Yes, it's an iceberg. And like
it's an iceberg.
It's a big iceberg.
Let's
and I
go
think
deep.
that Looksmaxxing, I mean, in itself, to like look good, is that like such a terrible thing? No. So there's the idea of Softmaxing, which is like mewing. I'm sure anyone with kids watching this knows of mewing.
Explain it to us.
It's when you put your tongue at the roof of your mouth like this, like
to
gives
get
you
an
a better
angular
jawline. Yeah, and then you
okay.
see the kids on the Jumbotron doing the little. I think it's stupid, but it's not. I wouldn't say that's harmful. There's also carrot maxing. Eating a lot of carrots gives you a more tan complexion. It's actually true.
Okay, cool.
Potassium maxing.
Yeah.
Decreases bloat. Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Grooming, skincare, hair care, eating healthy, working out.
I do some of that stuff.
We all do.
I'm Looksmaxxing.
Yeah. So, but you were Softmaxing.
Oh, I'm Softmaxxing.
So
Okay, yeah.
to a real Looksmaxer, they're usually Hardmaxing, which is on the iceberg. It tends to be people who are red-pilled or black-pilled. And this is where it gets into the incel community, and it gets pretty
The incel
dark.
community.
Yes, involuntary celibate men.
Okay.
I'm sure they would love that me as a woman is speaking on behalf of them.
Right, because they're all about misogyny and hating women.
They love women. No, I'm just kidding. And they really don't like women, so they would not like me speaking for them right now. But in the incel community, they get into this thing called hardmaxing, which then falls into like more permanent, risky behavior in order to maximize your appearance, and that would include bone smashing. So,
sorry, what?
Taking a hammer to your face and
what?
To try to chisel your face, not hard, but hard enough to reconstruct your face.
That sounds insane.
It is insane. We also have starve maxing, which is an eating disorder.
Okay.
Roid maxing, taking steroids.
Right.
Height maxing, so getting limb lengthening surgery, or jumping constantly, thinking that is going to increase your height.
Wow,
and
okay.
White maxing, you can probably imagine what that is.
So making your skin paler, bleaching your skin,
Bleaching your skin.
Wow.
And any kind of like permanent cosmetic surgery, which, I mean, you could argue women have been doing for a long time. But now it's getting popular with really young men who believe that that is the answer to the inner pain.
So this is my question, because I do feel like women, for, as long as human history has been around, have been subject to this idea of like extreme interventions in pursuit of beauty. Why are we talking about Looksmaxxing now, and why is there this concern now when women have also been pushed things like, intervention surgery or eating disorders to be skinny? Why haven't we cared about it before, I guess?
Yeah, totally. It's a very interesting thing to think about, because when I said bone smashing, I saw your face like, what? But I mean, you think of the cosmetic surgeries women go under. Obviously, these are bone smashing would be an at-home remedy, but there's lots of women who do very extreme things at home, like diet pills or literal bone smashing. I'm sure there's women who've tried to do their own nose job, all these things. And
or even things like corsets, right? That really do wreck your body.
Oh, totally. Or trying to, all those like face massagers that they think are going to somehow change the structure of their face. I personally think that the male loneliness epidemic and men's lack of maybe purpose in this world right now in late stage capitalism has made them better consumers, whereas women in the previously were easier consumers in regards to playing into their insecurities in order to buy makeup, surgery, all these things. And now that men are lonelier and lacking purpose in this world and are more depressed, it's a huge issue. They're an easier consumer to play into their insecurities and get them to buy more products. And so I think that's where a lot of this looksmaxing is also perpetuated by influencers who in turn profit off of telling men that they need to, eat a certain or have a certain supplement or do this certain thing.
So it's exploiting men both on a consumer level, but then also on a very personal level in terms of their confidence and security.
Totally. Yeah. And I think that incels it's the deepest insecurity to think love and affection are I think a really integral part of the human condition. And if men are lacking that, it's really, really sad. Do I think that being an incel is inherently violent and all this stuff that comes with it? Yes. But at the end of the day, it's still a very sad issue. And that if people are resorting to smashing their face with a hammer instead of just maybe going to the gym like we were talking about, eating healthy, we're in a sad place.
We are in a sad place. Nina, thank you so much for explaining this and for ending the show on such a high note.
No problem.
Folks, that is our show. Yeah, we ended it on a terrible note, but nonetheless, huge thanks to Mandy Gill, BC Bob Crownbauer, and Love Thug Nina Savage for tonight's show. And hey, if you're looking to bust the January slump, forget the darkness of the world, or just surf away your sorrows at Cox Bay Beach, there's no better place than Pacific Sands Beach Resort in Tofino, proudly supporting local conversations right here on This Is Van Color. If you have thoughts on tonight's show, email me, mo@thisisvancolor.com. We'll be back next week to talk more about how social media sucks, so please follow me on social media @VanColor. Until then, stay colorful, friends. Peace.